we're talking about regenerative agriculture. That's what you're doing out here. Can you tell me a little bit about what that means? What is regenerative agriculture?
Well, it's got the terminology can be different for a lot of different people. For me, what it is, it's about regenerating your land and from the conventional ways that we've farmed for the last decades, and it's all about repairing the health of the soil. So it's regenerating the soil so it can be a more resilient ecosystem to grow crops and livestock, and actually just add more biodiversity to the environment itself.
And how do you do that? How do you care for the soil? What are you actually doing when you're thinking about this?
Well, you have to keep in mind, I don't farm for a living.
Sure.
So every farmer truly has its unique challenges. And so this was a way for me to really experiment with different things such as cover crop mixes, pollinator strips, things of this nature. I just wanted to be able to observe what was taking place and measure it and monitor it and just see what kind of results I get. And it's advantageous for me because I don't have to worry about making a living on this.
Right.
But even on our farm in Missouri, which we were successful in regenerating as well, it was a system of trial and error. And our focus there was mostly on just rebuilding our organic matter and improving our soil structure, which are the building blocks, to achieving some level of soil health. And then really looking at, through soil testing, looking at the impacts that cover crops have made and cycling nutrients and things of this nature. So that's really what it is. It's creating that foundation of soil that you can really develop a thriving ecosystem on.
Well, so thinking a little bit about regenerative agriculture, thinking about sort of the industry as a whole, what kinds of things are needed to sort of move industry or to move the agriculture industry towards these sort of regenerative spaces?
Well, it takes a lot more practical experience. Farmers learn from farmers. That's the best source of information. And the more farmers that dip their toe into this area and share those experiences, the more others will learn and start creeping into this area as well. It's the typical adoption curve, early adopters and later adopters, and it's no different in working with farmers in that respect. But there has to be individuals or organizations or academics that are also supporting those efforts with practical experience, yes, but also the science that goes behind it. And so when you get everybody working collaboratively in that direction, then I think a lot of great things can happen. And so this evolution is happening. It's picking up more and more every year. I've talked to farmers that would be large-scale conventional growers that are actually moving more toward organic. And they've kind of bypassed that regenerative band, if you will, and just trying to get more for their commodity in the organic markets. But also dealing with the troubles that can occur there, and that's primarily weed control, and that's why HARP is going to be a great product for those that are transitioning to these organic systems. But ideally, you'd like to see people transition conventional to regenerative and then see the organic systems move from an organic to a regenerative. And again, that's one of the selling features of HARP is that platform of products can allow those growers, conventional and organic, to migrate to a more regenerative system that fits both of their markets.
That's interesting that it sort of needs to come from both sides. It's not just conventional that needs to move. It's not just organic that needs to move. But if we want to be sort of making these big changes, we need both sides to sort of meet in this regenerative space.
Exactly. That's exactly what it needs. And the organic growers would love, they're the early adopters. They're probably the epitome of it because they made that conscious decision, but they've got their struggles too. And when it comes down to soil health, it's difficult for them not to use mechanical tillage in order to eliminate their weed problem. So if they have a tool like HARP that allows them to do so, then you're going to see more of those growers migrate in this regenerative space. Whether they call it that or not, I don't know, but that's what's happening.